Alright, we had the Temple of Artemis, and it was by Michael Wynn.
Amber, Summer.
And Jacob Herring.
Okay.
Okay, so the real Temple of Artemis is like speculated to be 509 feet long, 180 feet wide, and 59 feet tall. And ours was 7 inches long, 3.5 inches wide, and 4 inches tall. Okay, so problems we faced with building it was aligning the pillars with the roof. So the pillars right here on Tinkercad, just getting them to like align. Decorations, so the real Temple of Artemis has like a big design on the front, which you can see in that picture right there. So kind of figuring out how to do that was a challenge, and then putting the hole in the roof and finding the dimensions, since there wasn't like a consensus online. So we had to just kind of like find the answer that we saw the most. So we ended up just finding, like I said, the one that was on there the most, and created a ratio from that. We grouped the pillars to make sure they'd be aligned, used rulers to make sure the hole was centered, and then just grouped it, yeah.
Some of the group work, something to do. Some of the group work challenges, there was a lot of differences between skills. Jacob and I happened to be better at using Tinkercad than Summer and Amber. We had to share the same like Tinkercad together. We didn't do different ones, and so kind of kicked us off a few times. And then we had 2 people working on the same thing just because they weren't doing super well with it, so they kind of helped each other out with it.
Okay, so me and Amber like mostly did the slideshow, while Micah and Jacob mostly did the model. And it was easier because like there weren't so many people who were working on Tinkercad at the same time, and we could get work done a lot faster.
How we built it, we built the base by stacking thin rectangles on top of one another, and we built the roof by a triangular prism, and the hole on top with hollowed sides. And the columns are rectangles, cones, and the cylinder all stacked on top of one another.
This was the result on the far left. That's the roof before it was painted. The base is obviously right here in the middle, and then those are all the columns or pillars that we finished. That's it.
Okay, so how did you decide?
We all sort of just volunteered. We all knew what we wanted to do, and
Yeah, we started off all working on Tinkercad, and then when we saw that me and Summer like weren't as good at it, we just kind of like volunteered. They said that they would do like the thing, and we would do the slideshow.
Okay. So, what does this tell you about the people who originally constructed it, this temple?
They definitely had to have a very advanced civilization. They had to have a lot of good technology in order to get the roof on top, in order to cut that hole out. And I'm pretty sure in the original there was a statue of Artemis herself, but we couldn't find a picture of that. So, I mean, they had to be able to build that as well.
Okay. And what functions did the structure serve? Just basically a temple, right?
yes.
It was also a marketplace.
Oh.
What did Artemis do?
She was the goddess of hunting, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and the moon.
Yes.
And how does the town pick their god?
Not totally sure about that.
She was also the goddess of
Fertility.
fertility and mothers and unwed women. So what aspects of civilization have to be in place?
You have to have a strong central government, definitely. You have to have some advanced technologies in order to get this. You have to have a lot of resources because they used marble for everything except for the roof. And for the roof they used bronze, I believe.
Why do you think they use bronze?
Maybe because it looked nicer, I guess.
What about light? What do you think bronze would do with light?
Reflection.
How they reflected the light. Resources. You said strong central government resources, and what else?
advanced technology.
technology, okay. And what did you not like about using the program?
The amount of times it kicked everybody off of
Yeah.
Tinkercad.
And me and
Tinkercad.
Summer just like were not good at it. It was kind of hard because it doesn't like really explain it. So yeah, it was not good.
And we didn't have an external mouse, so that made it hard to like move around and zoom in and all that stuff.
Seems to be a common theme. So what are you gonna do differently in the next 9 weeks with the next part of the project?
We're going to bring in external mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and practice with it because like we had no idea how to work it.
Amber was putting objects out into space.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel your pain.
So 2 thoughts on that. Yeah, everybody in here is gonna get better. Those of you that really struggled, you'll get better. Those of you that were already pretty good, you're gonna get better as well. But some of us, for whatever reason, it makes more sense to than others, just like everything else in life. So if you find yourself like this group did, where a couple of people are just really stinking good at it, and others have more struggles, you divide up the work based on that. So looking at that right there, you might have said, the roof has a lot going on. That's a challenge, right? So the folks that are like super good may tackle that part, and then getting the base right, you may have people that are not as comfortable work on that part. So think about those skill sets when you're dividing up your work. And you guys did a good job of calling it audible, basically, and changing it up. Good.
Okay. So how does an understanding of math make the design easier?
Well, I mean, that helped us really like figure out, the spacing between the pillars, how small the scale had to be in order to look good, I guess.
Okay. Okay, very good, guys. Thank you very much.